Hey everyone, this is Talon, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Alchemy's Understanding Account Abstraction resource, now available on their page. So if we go into alchemy.com, you'll go to their main page. You'll find it under Products and Account Abstraction. Here is where they'll start getting into the whole information about account abstraction, what type of services are included in their account abstraction tools for developers, with the benefits of onboarding, security, advanced gasless transactions, and account automation. Let's take a look at their documents so that we can understand account abstraction. So, what the heck is account abstraction? This is me as a non-technical person trying to explain. So as a non-dev, this is me attempting to explain it in a non-dev way to the fellow non-devs out there. So let's take a breakdown on why it's called account abstraction. What is an account? The account is your wallet. So this is directly going to influence your wallet. Your crypto wallet. The abstraction, now if we look at it, it's abstract is the main portion of the word. And when we think of abstract, I'm a designer, so I think of immediately abstract art. And what is abstract art? Is that fancy, like all over art that is like, what, in your face? But if we really look at abstract art, it's actually either a distortion or a simplification of realism. What do you mean simplification? Well, simplification because now when we're making a face, like say we're drawing a face, we're making it, we don't have to worry about all the little details, the little strands, each single strand of hair that comes out of your eyelashes and on your head. When you're technically doing something like a cartoon, that's actually an abstraction. It's a simplified version of a realistic face. So you're simplifying something that's actually kind of complex, and you're making it into something that's still recognizable. You still understand what it is, how it functions, and how it works. But you're making it in a way where it's like, okay, you're only getting what you absolutely need. So, what do you absolutely need in your wallet? And for us end users here who, the question is, I just want to get me an ape. I just want to buy an ape. And that's it. Let me click button. Let me push one button and then get my NFT, or let me just send some money to my friend for a job well done or whatever the heck they did. I want to support my friend here. That's all we care about. We don't care about all the back end stuff and whatnot. All we want to see is end product, end goal, which is where this comes in. This helps us make transactions easier, simpler and easier. So it's basically a smart wallet. That is what I like to call account abstraction. For those that are like, what the heck is account abstraction? Long story short, it's a smart wallet. And with smart wallets, you can now determine who gets to take on all the crap. All the back end nonsense, nitty gritty that you don't care about. Who gets to take care of it? And the answer is not you. Yay! So if you want to dive deeper into this with me on what am I talking about, the things that you don't need to worry about anymore, because if you've been a fanatic of crypto and all that, you already know how super ridiculous it's been just to get your money out into the verse. Let's take a deep dive a little bit, just a smidge, on what happens with account abstraction. Why is this a smart wallet? What makes this so amazing? And what do the users see versus what do they not see anymore? So I'm gonna go ahead and use Alchemy's new resource page here, and let's just go over it with you guys. So this is a fantastic infographic of the account abstraction flow and infrastructure. User operations. First question is, who is the user? And the user is you. When you use a smart wallet, you're gonna go into that wallet and you're gonna tell that wallet, hey, I only want to spend like max $100 on anything, like anything. No matter what transaction I make out in the universe, out in the verse, out in the metaverse, do not let anyone else ever take out more than $100 at a time. Ever. That's what I want. Because I'm broke and my money is important. I also don't want anyone to ever take out NFTs from my wallet. Ever. Because I'm a collector and I don't trade NFTs. I just buy them. So I never want to see my NFTs get taken out of my wallet at all. Make sure, smart wallet, make sure that happens, that never happens. Make sure my NFTs stay safe in my wallet, no matter who it is and what transaction. All right? And also, I only use like USDC. Sorry. I know there's a whole bunch of coins and stuff out there, but you know what? Never mind them, because I don't want to do the whole swappy thing over and over and all that. And I want to just take my money, convert it from fiat into USDC stablecoin, and that's it. That's all I want. And then, take my money. Use that and take my money. That's all I want to do. So if you gotta convert it on your side, fine, whatever. Take it. This is how much I have in USDC. And go do your magic voodoo, whatever you need to do in order to make this NFT get purchased so that it can get into my wallet. That's what the user will be able to do. And that's what makes it a smart wallet, because right now the user has to do all of that themselves every single time for every single transaction and every single smart contract that they ever have to get in touch with. They have to do that every single time, sign it every single time. There's a whole lot of every single time. And I'm like, I don't have time for all that. And then I don't even know what the heck that thing is that pops up with the hash node and the bunch of numbers on it. What does that even mean? Are you sure you want to make this transaction? It means 125789. And I'm like, yes, sure. Okay. I don't read hash node. So, sure, take my money. Go ahead. I don't care. It's intimidating. So yeah. As an end user, I don't care about all that. Go ahead, take my USDC, convert it if you need to, or whatever. Make it the lowest gas possible, if possible, and send it off so I can get my stinking NFT. So, and that's basically what this whole ecosystem is. That's what this entire thing does. And I'm gonna go into like a little bit on how it does it. But as an end user, that's all you care about. That's all you need to know is a smart wallet. That's what this whole thing is about. Smart wallets are coming. Dun, 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 dun. And that's what makes it so exciting. So that's why I'm excited. Because it's going to be so much easier to use, to do anything, everything. Yeah. Exciting stuff. All right. Anyway, so this is for our devs out there who are wanting to use account abstraction into their projects and everything to make this happen for their users. Okay, you want this, the ability for the user to do this with whatever you got in your project, whether you're making your own smart wallet, whether you're making your own ecosystem for your own marketplace or your own game, anything like that. Whatever you want for your user, you can add this in now already. It's already out there. You can do it now if you want to. Just go to alchemy.com. You can. This is how it works. When your user predefines how they want to spend their money, you're going to create a contract that double checks what they wanted, double checks if what you made complies with what they wanted, and if they all jive, then the transaction will happen. And it'll all run automatic. It'll check all that automatically and execute automatically. So no need to worry about touching anything. Smart wallet, this is how I want to spend my money. Okay, cool. I'm going to go buy an NFT now. So I make the purchase. I click the button saying I want a mint. I want this thing. It's going to talk, instead of going direct to like the whole private key thing and all that, it's going to go and interact first with a bundler. What this bundler does is it's going to take a look at everything the user already decided they want happening. So all their predetermined choices of how they want to spend their money, it's going to take a look at all of that, combine it all, because this was already signed off already. Like, I signed off that I only want to spend $100. I signed off that I never want to get my NFTs off of my wallet. These are all signed, sealed, and delivered, and I don't want to have to keep signing, sealing, and delivering every single time for every single smart contract. So the bundler checks that so that the user only has to do that once. Yes, only once. You tell it what to do only once. And the bundler is going to take that, look at it, and then it's going to send it to an entry point. And this entry point is the entry to the smart contract. In this entry point, it's going to take a look at the bundler, and it's going to see what their users' preferences are. And then it's going to make sure that it signs off in the smart contracts all the things that are allowed that needs to happen for this contract to execute. So if the smart contract is able to go through because their preset signatures have all signed off on it, it's going to compile everything for the blockchain in order to prep everything to finish this transaction. It's also going to see how you want to pay for the gas fees. So it's going to ask, how do you want it to get paid? And this is defined by both the user and the dev. So the dev can give options, different payment options. You can choose to sponsor all the gas fees yourself. You can choose to enable different tokens, so it's easier for the end user to use different tokens. You can choose to accept specific tokens, specific stable coins, instead of maybe your Ethereum or whatever chain you have. So you will give the user options on how they want to pay. So this is all happening simultaneously, and if the user already signed off that they are okay with sponsored gas fees, then it'll probably go through. If the user's okay with specific payments of tokens and all that stuff, it's going to check. And then it's going to create a nicely compiled final signature for the user saying, hey, your contract's ready. All you gotta do is sign one more time. Push button to sign one more time. And this will give you your NFT. We already converted everything. We already double checked that this is meeting all your preferences. We're not taking out any NFTs from your wallet. It's not going to be spending more than $100 out of your wallet. So it all complies with your user preferences. Double check it in a much more understandable way. And if it looks good, you can mint, get your thing. It will deploy on the blockchain. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment and tell me I'm wrong. If I am not saying something correct, please be kind, but please correct me, because I don't want to relay false information at all. So, but this is my understanding of account abstraction. So let's take a look at each one, because and break it down even further for those who want to. But if this basically made sense to you and you're fine and that's all you want to know, then fine, then great. I'm glad that I was able to make that simple for you. But for those who want to get a little bit more down into this rabbit hole, let's take a look at each thing and see how each thing works. So if we go in and view the definitions, they're all over here. So the first one is account, and it's going to go in order like this. So for us devs out there who want to see how it all works and all the specifics, this part is for you. So the account, like I said earlier, is you and your wallet. It's basically how you interact with on-chain accounts. So it could either be an externally owned account, an EOA, which is basically what we have now. Our MetaMask, our Phantom, our Rainbow wallets, all that. That's an externally owned account, okay? Yeah. Or it could either be, now, it can either be a smart contract account, which I like to call a smart wallet. So this smart contract account, SCA, this is the proposal, the 4337, ERC-4337. This is the new proposal that makes all this happen. Because right now we only have externally owned accounts. That's what all our wallets are right now. That's all we have. What the ERC-4337 proposal does is it asks Ethereum, hey, can we have smart contract accounts now? Because that'd be great. That's what it is. And that's your account. It's your wallet. It's basically your wallet. All right. So let's take a look at the EOAs. EOAs right now, as it is, stores and transfers ETH. For, in this case, this is specifically for ETH, because this is for the Ethereum ecosystem and the Ethereum chain. So I'm sure there's other chains, L1s out there, that probably have similar styles to this. But in order to enforce this on the Ethereum network, it has to go through proposals. And it needs to be approved by the Ethereum network in order to be implemented. So what ERC-4337 does is it's basically asking Ethereum, hey, here's my proposal to allow us to make smart wallets instead of externally owned accounts. And this proposal is actually proposal number 2, because the first one was actually kind of pushed to the side and sort of forgotten, because it asked for on-chain edits, and the devs were like, what? Are you serious? You're gonna have us edit on-chain stuff? You know how hard that is and how long it would take? So they're like, okay, fine. How about ERC-4337, which is off-chain? We could implement it right away, right now, and it doesn't change anything in the Ethereum network. It's just another fancy way of us getting around it so that we can hide all the weird back-end stuff that users don't care about. So externally owned accounts right now uses public and private keys. And I know a bunch of you have already known about Nacho Key, Nacho Crypto. So this makes this extremely sensitive to security risks. And so even though you may have control right now of your keys, your private keys, your public keys, if someone were to have control of it, that's not you, they now have your stuff. Or if you lose it, you just lose it forever. And that's it. So the security and the risk factor, as it is right now with externally owned accounts, is super high. It's basically having like $1,000 in your pocket, and you're just running around with $1,000 in your pocket, hoping somebody doesn't go and steal stuff and pick your pocket. Or you're running around with your purse with $1,000 in your purse. You put your purse down, you walk away, and then you're like, oh crap, I lost my purse that had $1,000 in it. Oh nah. Basically have all of your life savings tucked underneath your mattress of your bed and hope that there will never be a fire in your house. That's what we have right now. Externally owned accounts. That's what we have right now. So yeah, sure. You get to smell, touch, love, and lick your NFTs and your crypto right now. Lord, if something happened to your private key, it's gone. Out skis. So that's an issue. That is an issue. And I don't know about you, but some of us don't want to take on that risk. I kind of personally like having my things in the bank because I know it's there, and I am really bad about losing things, so I would not mind having someone else hold it for me in a secure place. So I know, I'm really bad. That's just not gonna work if it's also not secure. So what do we do about it? Introducing smart contracts. Smart contracts will give us security benefits and expand functionality, and that's because it's a fully programmable smart contract account, and it stores our assets on the chain. Your wallet now has smart contract capabilities in your wallet. You no longer use private keys. You, as in the user, doesn't need to worry about private keys. There's still private keys, it's just you don't see it, you don't use it. When you have a smart wallet, you can tell your wallet using smart contracts, or a smart contract that's in your wallet, already programmed in your wallet, and tell that smart contract right then and there about your wallet that your wallet has X, Y, and Z. And that's how you predefine your preferences on how you want to do your transactions. Let's take a look at the ERC 4337. So this is the proposal. And the proposal is basically asking Ethereum if we can create smart wallets, smart contract accounts, as people's primary account, as their wallet. This is something that they interact with on the daily themselves. Can we give them a smart contract that they can interact with on the daily and manipulate and edit on the daily themselves in a way that's not confusing? So specifically, a smart contract that's your wallet. And because it's a smart contract, we can predefine also the smart contract to be able to do X, Y, and Z in the back end for the user, so that the front end of it is basically just a push button. So the 4337 runs on top of the blockchain instead of on or in the blockchain, so that it doesn't need to change the blockchain itself. And that's why it's a lot faster for people to implement for 337 versus something like later on I'll talk about the ERC 6900. And of course, you can read the proposal here if you want to look into the whole nitty-gritty of the blam of, okay, account abstraction using alt mempool and account abstraction proposal, which completely avoids consensus layer protocol changes instead of relying on higher layer infrastructure. What? If you're into all that, you want to see all the la 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 and then the function and the code and how that all works, by all means, go ahead, go for it. Alright, so let's take a look at the user operation. That was the first part of this whole thing. So now that we know what an account is, the external account, what a smart contract account is, and the proposal ERC4337, now we're going to look at the flow. The user op, bundler, entry, aggregator, paymaster, and then the final is the ERC 6900, which is the overall eventual, we would love to have this on-chain proposal. So this is the user operation. And the user operation is, like I said, it's basically you, me, devs, users of anybody, anywhere that does transactions on the blockchain. So here, the user operation in the smart contract wallet, smart contract account, it's going to ask for what kind of operations, user-defined operations, what do you want to see happen in this smart contract? So there's fields that's going to be in there. The developer is the one that determines all of the additional fields here. So they're going to determine how they want the bundler handled, how they want the entry points handled, the aggregator and the paymaster handled. The user is going to tell the smart contract that they also want the paymaster to act a certain way. It's going to tell the aggregator what signatures are allowed. So it bundles up their smart contract into a separate mempool, and the user operation also allows intent-based operation. What is intent-based? That's basically the part where the user can define how they want the transaction to go. What options the dev gives the users and what options the users give the devs, or what options the user gives their smart contract wallet. So when it interacts with any other smart contract out there, it's either going to accept or not. And then it's going to give the user the option to accept or not. So what is a bundler? The bundler, like we saw earlier, this bundler takes all the information from the user operation and bundles it out all nicely so that it can send it to the entry point. The bundler is like the advocate. The bundler is the user's agent in a way. Like, okay, I'm the user's agent, and the user says that they only want XYZ happen. Let's negotiate. So this is acting on behalf of the user. The entry point is acting on behalf of the developer or the seller or whatever. We'll just call it the seller. The entry point is on behalf of the seller. So the bundler's saying, hey, the user only has this stuff but wants your thing. So we want to buy your NFT. This is the user's stipulations. Here you go. Tell us if we can buy it and how. What are our options? So that's the entry point. It's going to verify everything that the bundler just gave it, whether or not it has enough funds to pay for gas, or if the gas is going to be already prepaid or not, or whatever, or it basically, is it going to accept the user's offer or is it going to reject it? And if it accepts it, then it's going to execute the smart contract so that the transaction can get finished. So this entry point is going to do multiple things at once. It's going to talk to the aggregator. And so if the transactions go through and it's able to transact, it's going to combine all the signatures here in this aggregator, and it's going to take all of the yeses so that it can mark off all of the authorizations needed for the smart contract to deploy on chain. Basically the logic. Signature is the okay, go ahead and run the logic of the smart contract so we can execute and get my NFT. There's also a cute little quip here about Vitalik and his information, his theory crafting on how to improve using signature aggregation, which is basically right now as it is, there's a whole bunch of signatures that we have to do everywhere, which way and whatnot. Now we only have to do it once, and it's nicely compressed. So what does that mean? It means it will decrease gas fees on rollups by like 7 times. I don't know about you, but that sounds great. So yeah, basically it's just taking everything that you already told is okay, get all your signatures that you already signed off on, and combining it into one yes to it. The entry point will also go ahead and determine what kind of transaction will be needed to cover the gas fees, because we're gonna need to cover the gas fees. Somebody has to cover the gas fees. We can't just will it away. The gas fees is what pays the miners, who is looking for all of our Ethereum right now. So gotta pay the miners, guys. Gotta do it. Sorry. So it's gonna check though, because the developer can now determine if they want to sponsor the gas fees for their user, so that it makes it a lot easier for the user to onboard or just get something free. Or you have the option of enabling gas payments in stablecoins, or you can enable gas payments in another ERC20 token. So the devs have options to give the user. The user will then click and say yay or nay to the options, and like, okay, now here's what you have. Here's your signature. We need you to sign off one more time. Go ahead and tell us if everything looks okay, and we'll cover the gas fees. Everything looks okay, then go ahead and mint. Or the user could look at that and go, what? You mean I can only pay in USDC? But I don't even have USDC. But at the same time, that kind of works out, because it's like the smart contract can check what token they have, and they can offer to pay in that token instead. So even more so, it's like less obstacles on making this transaction. So really the only thing that's standing in the way of this transaction going through is, does the user have enough money in whatever, whether it is stablecoin, an ERC20 token, or if the sponsor pays for it, or all of it, or some of it. Does the user have enough to make this transaction happen? Then it's just up to the user. Whoa. All right, so what is ERC 6900? ERC 6900 is the next step in this proposal process, where once ERC 4337 has been adopted and gone through and everyone likes it and all that stuff, hopefully, fingers crossed, Ethereum will adopt ERC 6900, which is a new proposal that actually puts the standardization of the smart contract accounts on chain. So putting smart contract accounts on the chain, fully programmable, and can be customized through plugins. So now, instead of a lot of people making a bunch of smart contract accounts, ERC 6900 is asking, hey, can we make a standardized smart contract account, put it into the Ethereum chain as a smart contract and make it where you can edit this smart contract with plugins. And the plugins will be off-chain. So now you don't have to touch and you don't have to edit anything on the blockchain anymore. Because now you're just going to be using plugins to edit your smart contract, which is on-chain. I think at least that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But that's how I understand it, and that's what the end goal is. Because then there really is no need to go in and have to approve any more standardizations. We can just edit things with plugins, and that's it. So it's a lot easier to edit or not edit. Whether or not that's good or not, that's where all the security measures are going to have to go in place and all that stuff. Because later, anyone's going to be able to make a plugin, really. The devs will be making plugins for these smart contracts that is a lot that it talks to, that is in, not even talks to, it's in the blockchain. So instead of smart contracts, we might not even need smart contracts anymore. We just need plugins. We just need plugins to talk to the smart contract. You still need to know about smart contracts because you need to be able to get the plugin to talk to the smart contract and execute and edit the smart contract. So knowledge of smart contracts is still very much important. But now you can develop and triage and update and fix and all that a lot easier without having to worry about changing what's on chain. And it would be a lot less gas because that's a lot less gas transactions that has to happen, which is great because this whole thing kind of helps with lowering gas. It bundles the transactions, so there's less gas because there's less transactions from bundling. It bundles signatures, so there's less gas because it's less signatures to have to go through the chain. There's no gas wars anymore because you cannot manipulate the gas prices at all if it's already predetermined for you by the seller. And you can determine as the developer or as the seller what your limitations are as far as gas goes, or as far as buying and selling. So say this NFT won't be able to sell for any less than XYZ or any more than XYZ, or this thing will not be able to process with gas any higher than XYZ. So lots of great stuff is happening, and that's why everyone is super excited. And of course, if that wasn't good enough for you, we do have other people explaining things probably a lot more accurately than I did. Because I'm just a silly little artist trying to understand this world of NFTs and whatnot, right? So, but if you want to, you have other resources here at alchemy.com about protecting our assets, about paymasters, about wallet creation and aggregate signatures, about the bundler APIs. So anyone can make a bundler, and that's why you are able to make bundlers with Alchemy's new bundler APIs. And then gas manager APIs. So anyone can be the paymaster. Anyone can manipulate how they want their end users to cover their gas fees. If you want to cover it, if you you want to make them, they cover it. Instead, this is the Gas Manager API. As always, there's a bunch of other things that you can always check out here in the alchemy.com area about account abstraction and how it works and how to use their APIs for your smart contract creations. To wrap up, I'm just going to basically go over really quickly again what all this is. And so we talked about the user operator predefining everything that they want, the bundler checking what the user's predefined operations are. It sends it to the entry point, and then the entry point will then go and check out the aggregator. It's going to collect all of the signatures that is necessary to make the smart contract. It's going to double check all of the transactions required to execute the smart contract. And then it's going to double check how the gas is going to get paid once the contract is approved by both parties. So this is account abstraction. At the end of the day, all the user needs to do is pre-set up everything that they want for how they want to do their transactions. Ask to mint, it'll run, it'll come back, and it's gonna say, hey, you have enough money to make this transaction. Do you want it to happen? And the user will say, yes, go ahead. And that's it. Voila, you now have your NFT. So I hope this helped with explaining account abstraction in a way that's a little bit more digestible for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Alchemy platform and Alchemy University, Alchemy Learn, in Twitter or Telegram or our Alchemy University, and we'll be able to help you out and help you with your smart contract creation. Become a web developer today in Web3, guys. See you later. And as always, gang, peace, love, and Web3. Bye. You are telling your transactions, you're just basically telling them, hey, this is what I want. This is you. This is here. This is you. Or let's see, you're a dev. So this is all for like devs, really. So you're thinking about the devs. Let's start again. Now we're gonna have to go and put in our dev hats a little bit and see how this works out for devs, but to keep the end users in mind. Because the end user is like, we want to make sure you only see what you need to see. And the only thing you care about is getting your NFT or getting your token or whatever you want to get or give or do. You get to tell me what you want to do. So, ooh, this is kind of hard to talk about. Who is this? Let's try again. So, no. I am a dumb artist, so I'm doing my best to try to explain this account abstraction in a way that is understandable. So, how are we going to pay for all this gas? All right, I am an NFT seller. I'm an artist and I'm selling my NFTs. I would love to be able to pay for the gas for all of my supporters. But heck, that's a lot of gas. What am I going to be doing? Do you afford all of that is up to however you make it. Sends it, make sure. Okay. Oh. Okay. It sends it to the entry point. And as always, gang. And as always, gang. Peace, love, and Web3. Bye.